Next part of this video is a mini book haul. I bought a couple of books and I would like to share it with you quickly. The first one in the book haul is A Brief History of 7 Killings by Marilyn James. And as you can see in the cover here, it is the 2015 Man Booker Prize winner. This book particularly has been selected in 23 best books of the year's list. The 7 gunmen storm into Bob Marley's home and try to attack him, but he survives. And then what happens is what this book is about. Because I haven't read this book, I cannot give my own synopsis about this book, so I'm reading out from the book itself. This book chronicles the life of a host of unforgettable characters: slum kids, one-night stands, drug lords, girlfriends, gunmen, journalists, and even the CIA. Gripping and inventive, one of the most remarkable and extraordinary novels of the 21st century. It's like a Tarantino remake of The Harder They Come, but with a soundtrack by Bob Marley and a script by Oliver Stone and William Faulkner. Sweeping, mythic, over-the-top, colossal, and dizzyingly complex. That's the blurb by New York Times. So that's the first book, A Brief History of 7 Killings. Next book in the series is a fantasy series, which I think this is a standalone book. I was lucky enough to get a hard copy of this book for a reasonable price. And I have told you before in many of my videos that I go for hardcover when it's affordable price or comparable to the paperback. So I go for hardcover because I love collecting hardcovers. So the book is, again, like I said, it's a fantasy book. Fantasy come historical fiction, you can call it. It's called The Kingdom of Back. Yeah, it's a beautiful cover. I really love it. And let me show you the cover without the dust cover. It's plain navy blue kind of thing, and that's the spine. Yeah. So basically this book talks about Nanelle Mozart. She's a sister of the famous Mozart. She is also a great musician and composer. She is a masterful player, but because she is a woman living in Europe in the 18th century, she is forbidden from doing that and pursuing what she likes to do. And her tyrannical father has clearly said that she cannot do anything until she reaches a marriageable age. And as the time passes, she realizes that her chances of becoming a great composer is very slim. On the other hand, her younger brother's brilliance is recognized and he climbs the ladder of success. And that's when she meets a mysterious stranger who promises her that, he can make her wish come true, but there is a cost associated with it. And the book is all about what happens thereafter. So that is Mary Lou's The Kingdom of Back. Then the next book that I bought is a book that anybody and everybody's mother has read, which is Murakami's Kafka on the Shore. Now, I have to admit, I have never read Murakami, and I don't know why, but I think it's because magical realism is not one of my favorite genres, and I am one of those very rare individual in the world who has not liked 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel García Márquez. Please don't judge me, but I'm not judging you for liking it. Don't judge me for not liking it. I have really tried it, but it was just not my thing. But I hope this is not like that, because when I read the synopsis, it was quite interesting. So yeah, I'm not getting into the synopsis of this book because, like I said, most of you know what this book is about. You might have already read this book because everybody reads Murakami. Last book is a book series. Actually, not a trilogy this time, it's a quartet. And the 4th book is yet to be released. It hasn't released yet. So technically, right now, it is a trilogy. But actually, it's a 4-part quartet book series. And the book is the Books of Babel series by Hosea Bancroft. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And the first book is yet to arrive. I haven't received it yet. It will not arrive before Saturday, but I still thought let me just go ahead and do this book haul. But the first book in this series is called Senlin Essence. This whole series is about the Tower of Babel, but not the biblical tower, but it is definitely inspired from that. So basically, in this world of the book that is created by Mr. Bancroft, the Tower of Babel is a great architectural marvel. There are a lot of ringdoms, not kingdoms, living in this huge mountainous Tower of Babel. Each ringdoms are stacked above each other, and it's a marvelous world. There are mysterious warships, mythical, magical kind of animals, peaceful nations as well, warring nations as well. And the story is about Thomas Senlin, who is a school teacher and who visits the Tower of Babel for his honeymoon with his wife Maria. During his journey, he gets separated from his wife, and then his quest of finding her back starts, and he's determined to find her back. But in order to do so, he has to go through many assassins, betrayals, and many impossible weird circumstances. I am really looking forward to reading this. So that was my mini book haul. I hope it inspired you to pick up one of these and read it. So I'm going to wind up this video by letting you know what I'm reading right now. So actually I'm right now reading 3 books. So one is, of course, I think I had mentioned it. It is Cast by Isabel Wilkerson, and so far I'm really liking it. And the second book that I'm reading is The Kingdom of Copper by S.A. Chakraborty. So I finished The City of Brass and really loved it. It is such a beautiful fantasy fiction. I have talked about this as well in one of my previous video when I did the book haul, if you haven't read this trilogy, it's a trilogy, and if you haven't read it, please do read it. It's beautiful. You will not regret it. And I actually, this book, the second book in the series, which is The Kingdom of Copper, was not in my TBR for this month, but I finished, sorry about that. I finished reading this book around the end of April. So it stopped at such a big, not cliffhanger, but a revelation kind of a situation that I'm like, God, I want to know what's going to happen next. So that's why I picked up book number 2. And the third book that I'm reading is an audiobook that I'm listening to, which is Her Last Move by John Mars. It's a British crime thriller surrounding the investigation of serial killing that's happening in London. When I'm using audiobooks, I generally listen to crime thrillers because that's easier for me, and I like the way crime thrillers are narrated by the voice actors. So that's why I usually use script or Audible for listening to crime thrillers, because if it's literary fiction or non-fiction or fantasy, then I need to read the book either on Kindle or actual physical book. That's the status of where I am with my reading currently. Before you know it, I'll be back with another video, and so if you want to get notified as soon as I upload them, please hit the bell icon. And please like and share this video. So see you soon, guys. This is Angela signing off. Bye bye.